Adrianah Lee is suing. I gotta get my eyes right. Okay, this is cool. I hate when my eyes, I have something up and I be like, be looking like this, like, all right, here we go. All right, so Adrianah Lee, you remember she's still suing like Maya Higa, Mizkif, OTK. Well, she was suing OTK. Well, what happened was she lost the lawsuit completely against OTK, and they were asking for lawyer fees to the tune of about $73,000.
I got money.
They said, hey, we want $73,000, and if she wants to appeal it in the future, she need to put up a $75,000 bond. And now we have her lawyer's like, hey, whoa. Hold on, Henry. Hold on. Like, this $73,000 that they want, we object. Now, this is typical, right? When you're in this legal battle, you're gonna object to everything. You're never just gonna go down and just take it. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna take it. So what did she say? The court granted OTK's Rule 91 motion to dismiss on, September 19th via, interlocutory order, pursuant to which claims the alleged against OTK were dismissed. OTK want their goddamn money. They like, where's my money? The fucking rent's
Your rent's due, motherfucker.
and we need $73,000. Okay, so they got this legal argument says, hey, we can go off our lawyer fees, right? The question then becomes an award, whether an award is appropriate, and if so, what is reasonable? Long story short, guys, she's about to try to argue that their charges are unreasonable. They were charging a lot, and we gonna skip through this because I don't want. Go ahead, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and never miss a video. Her lawyers stay reminding the court what they can do and cannot do. That's just like the play. Like, you don't have to award legal fees, and if you OTK, you like,
Shut up, bitch.
the fuck you mean you don't have to award legal fees? We had to defend ourselves against this shit, okay? And you cost us time. We lost the contract. They didn't even submit a motion to recoup the damages from the $350,000 contract that they alleged that they lost as a result of this. And here are some factors that the court are supposed to consider. The time and labor required, the likelihood that the acceptance of a particular employment will preclude other employment by a lawyer, the fee customarily charged in the locality, similar to the legal fees, the amount involved in the results obtained, the time limitations imposed by the client or circumstances, basically everything that went into this case, but she's hanging everything, right, on this. Whether the fee is fixed or contingent on results obtained or uncertainty of collection before the legal services have been rendered. I suspect her lawyer is working on contingency. As in, she probably put little to no money up front, and they have a deal where the lawyer will take 33% or maybe 40% of any settlement that comes her way. That's how contingency works. If I am OTK and I'm defending OTK, I'm not working on contingency because she's broke. It's not like we're about to get, paid our money like that. No, OTK, you're going to pay me up front. And if we get the money awarded to us on the back end, we'll give it back to you. Okay, we'll give it to you as she pays it because she ain't paying that shit. All right. So this court case right here, it provides that, a prevailing party seeking fees must show such recovery is legally authorized and that the fees are reasonable. Emphasis on fees are reasonable. Remember, OTK lawyers, they're making $650 an hour. Okay. And the necessary for the representation and providing attorney fees requires showing. This is all this is stalling. They yapping. As y'all would say, yapping. And we need evidence of the services performed, who performed the services, approximately when the services were performed, the reasonable amount of time required for the services, the reasonable hourly rate for each person performing the services. They want a breakdown of everything. Everything you could think of, okay? Now, further, OTK's counsel did not identify whether the fee is fixed, a contingency. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not a contingency. The fee is fixed, more than likely. More than likely. So they're just trying to get them on a legal technicality to get them, out of this, out of this lawsuit. And this is a great example, right? So her lawyer's contingency 100% because No lawyer is going after these millionaires, which is, Maya Higa, Mizkif, OTK. I mean, Crazy Slick ain't no millionaire. He's just a fall guy. She ain't even going after him in the court docs. He's just there. And I'm just like, money is the motivation. Okay? Money. Defendant, has not actually even identified the legal rate sought in their application for attorney fees and the rate charged to their client. They did. I mean, they showed it was $650, but her attorney is arguing that the $650 is inflated. The rates charged by defendant counsel at $650 per hour are outsized for the work performed, the geographic practice, and the year's experience shown by the defendant and counsel. A rate of $400 per hour is more appropriate for solo small firm practice. Now, look, in my line of work with my corporate experience, we do look at what we're paying our contractors. Like I have engineers on contract. We look at what's the standard rate for the different position of engineers compared to like 3 different firms. That's kind of what you do when you do like a request for proposal, RFP or RFQ request for quotes. That typically gets factored in. They'll show, hey, this is what our people are making. So we get 3 of those, and then we can see, hey, what's the lead engineer making for, across the board? What's their admin making across the board? So OT or Adrianah Lee's lawyer is like, hey, $400 is fair. Now look, these guys had 20 years experience, maybe $400, but some divorce attorneys where I live, they charged $100 per hour. I mean, $500 per hour. Sorry about that. All right. Now they reviewed all the billing records submitted by OTK and indicate that segregation between recoverable and non-recoverable fees has not occurred, or at least not fully occurred, and the records are in fact woefully incomplete because what they did was redacted everything. They was like, we just gonna show you what we want to recover, not everything. So now they're saying, hey, what are you hiding? Also, there were some typos. Now look at this shit. Look how desperate she gets for this, right? They say, look, there were some typos on this page. So remove all typos from being collected. Like, wait, what? It's impossible to fully determine what work was performed as a result of the distorted time entries. As such, they should be struck. Now, think of this when they got this huge ass typo right here. You're like, wait. Is it 5/17/223? You're like, Now here, I'll go to the page to show you the typos that they're talking about. Page 33, right? So we go to page 33 and we scroll down. It's catching up because this document is large. All right, so we scroll down to page 33. You see right here, the typos. Communicate, the I is missing. Counsel, the L is missing. For the co-defendants, Zoom, the call is missing. They want all this shit struck, which means anything with a typo, they do not feel like they should be collecting from her. This is lunacy, right? This is lunacy. And I don't think a judge is going to be like, okay, in fact, I got the judge's notes. Sorry, I got the judge's notes, so I kind of know how this is going to end. And I just want to, make sure you guys get the complete picture. It does not, on the plain language of the provision, provide for an award of fees and costs for process seeking of the award of fees. So remember the random $28 processing charge that OTK wanted to collect? They're trying to say, hey, you can't charge us for this shit, okay? And then they go on to go to all these relating to communications with co-defendant attorneys and counsel. And these charges add up so quick. They eat up so much clock. Hey, they're charging us for talking to us. I mean, it's time. This is how my divorce ended up being like $25,000 because of stuff like that. And they could just go in and just go for specific time entries. We don't need to nickel and dime it. We don't need to read everyone, but they're basically trying to knock it down. Hey, what is these motions to dismiss? What are these topics to discuss? They're saying they're too vague and they're spending too much time. Okay. But this is how it works, guys. Right here. Here's an example for one. It appears to relate to a telephone call for undescribed reasons. You're like, annoying. And it just keeps going on and on about pretty much everything. But what shocked me was they did not say a certain price. And you're like, well, they were looking for $72,000. Normally you might counter with, okay, how about given everything, we could do some quick math real quick. 72,000 or 73,000, right? Divided by 650. We talking about 112 hours worth of work times 400. How about 44,000? They didn't come with that because remember the 400,000 is what they the $400 per hour is what they came up with. This is what I do at work. So it's like this number crunching shit this comes natural to me. But what she did differently is she had her lawyer write a statement, a sworn statement. You like, where is it at? I'm like, it's right here. Here, go right here. So her lawyer, hey, my name is Travis. I've been a lawyer. I'm over 18 years. And me being the asshole. Remember when she was like, it didn't have a date of birth. It didn't have an address. It's not an official statement. It should be removed from evidence. You know, that shit.
Shut up, bitch.
But anywho, I mean, you know, no shade to Adrianah. I mean, her lawyer is lawyering. She's fighting for money. It is what it is. It is what it is. So, you know, he talks about his experience, you know, in preparation of this unsworn declaration. He's reviewed his entire file on the matter, including all documents filed with the court, all records, communications, documents exchanged in other parties. Based on my review of the file and my involvement in this matter, I have personal knowledge of the matter stated. You know, he gives his background, you know, prior to law school, I had some familiar with the day-to-day operating of a law offices. He's worked at this company and that company, you know, all that good shit, right? Now, this is where it gets trippy. You see the 300 an hour. The following describes his experience in this area of law. You know, I'm a licensed practice law in the state of Texas. In 2011, I've practiced law in Travis County and surrounding counties of this state since that date. I'm also licensed to practice in the United States for this court. I'm familiar with the reasonable and necessary attorney fees customarily charged for representation in these cases of this nature, in tort defamation and cases involving TCPA generally. In general, civil litigation practices, I'm in the opinion of a reasonable fee for attorney fees for, you know, services for an attorney of my present experience in Travis County or greater central Texas area, for example, is $300 per hour. And as a lawyer, you'd be like, man, good for you, Travis. $300 an hour, great. But that's your rate. That's your rate, buddy. Their lawyers got 25 years in the game, all this other shit. They not trying to hear no $300 an hour for nothing. The lawyer who works for my company, They make way more than $300 an hour. You can't even find a lawyer for less than $350 an hour, especially in corporate law. This is cap. This is cap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. So based on my knowledge of customary charge, legal fees, and civil litigation of this nature, I am of the opinion that the cumulative sums charged by the attorneys for OTK media for which, you know, seeking fees have been sought are not reasonable. In light of nature of this case, the results are far accomplished, the time and labor apparently involved, and the relative complexity of the defendant's case. So he's like, look, this shit not possible, okay? Even with the added complexity of having multiple defendants, that does not represent a significant workload of such more than 100 hours for reasonable fees, which they had about 112. Okay, so what do you want, Travis? We got Henry right here. You can calculate this. So what you want, 40,000? So we know you want 400 an hour, and you saying it's not over 100 hours. So we talking 40,000 or less, right? 40,000, but he wants 300,000. He really wants 30,000. 30,000 divided by 100 equals $300 an hour. So he's like, it should be 30,000. So he's trying to knock their shit way less than half. You know, the rate of 400 hours more reasonable in light of the experience of the defendant's attorneys having the field of litigation. No, this is actually an honest statement. They're definitely worth more than 300, 400. I'm really going to think 5. But, you know, he goes on. It does not appear possible to segregate out work-related claims from which attorney fees may be awarded from those which cannot. They didn't separate the fees. As such, is my opinion as a practicing attorney that it is not possible for the billing records to show reasonable attorney fees for which any award may be available in this litigation. And he signed it, and he put his birth date, and he put his address, which I redacted, okay? But the judge, right? You like, what the judge say? because it really don't matter what they say. What did the judge say? Like, Henry, you got some real judge notes? Like, hell yeah, man. You know I roll. We gonna get up on there. Okay, so they had the meeting on the 6th. Defendants, Mizkif and Mizkif Enterprises amended TCPA motion. Defendant Maya Higa's TCPA motion for fraud and defendant OTK's motion for attorney fees. This is all the shit that was discussed, right? You like, shit, what the judge say? Henry, what did he say? Okay. The motion for attorney fees regarding the Rule 98 dismissal in the 250th Circuit, Judge Crump presiding. Travis Phillips and Sidney Williams for the plaintiff, Fred Williams for the defendants, Kyle Jones for defendant Maya Higa, Austin Nimox for defendant OTK Media. Judge Crump ruled on the plaintiff's objections and signed the physical order, which we already saw about Adrianah Lee's objections against Mizkif. Judge Crump took the 2 TCPA motions under advisement, so he heard their motions, as well as the motion for attorney fees. Mr. Nimox to file supplemental billing records regarding the attorney fees from the September 21st until now. Record by Rachel Primo, which means they're going to get some lawyer fees awarded. How much? It's undetermined. I do like bare minimum, guys, bare minimum, right? Let me go to this. The rate and the hours is going to be the most important. I think the rate that they're going to establish is going to be $400 per hour. You know why? Because that's the rate Adrianah Lee's attorney said. So you'll get the win on the rate. Maybe a little bit more, but I don't think they're going to get the $650 per hour. So we're looking at bare minimum $400 per hour. People are like, no way, yes way. You've never probably had to hire an attorney. $400 an hour, you probably pretty happy. Okay. But the difference is going to be the judge is going to have to go through the hours. Now, OTK clocked 112. Okay. So let's bring up the calculator. Where are we at with the calculator? So we got 112 times 400 an hour. So we're looking at 44,000. Let's just say 45,000. The only way this gets knocked down lower is if the hours worked comes down. That's it. That's what it's going to be. How many less hours did they work? They're clocking 112. Can we bust that down to 80? Can we bust that down to 80? Even at 80 hours times 400 was 32,000. 32,000. Okay, 60 hours. Let's do 60 times 400. 24,000. Do you think she got this money laying around? Do you think she got it?
Nope.
No. So, shout out to Adrianah Lee. We should probably have a decision by the judge. They've been pretty fast in this in 30 days. So hopefully within 30 days, we'll get an update. I'll get the new submitted documents from OTK's lawyer. And then we'll know how much she's been ordered to pay, because she's not getting away with this shit scot-free. And I believe she's probably banking on this going to trial and negotiating a settlement to cover the lawyer fees and pay her attorney, obviously. But what do you guys think of this? She did it. She filed the lawsuit. We got to cover it. All right. What if she doesn't have it? Payment plan. Hey, we got to put you on a payment plan. I mean, it depends on how aggressive everyone wants to be. You could be payment plan. You could be garnish your Kick check, your Twitch check, your TikTok check, whatever sources of income she has, they can legally go after it. So how can she avoid it? Put all her assets in someone else's name.